A day of record highs with people treating it like a late spring or early summer. And in just 24 hours, back to the frozen tundra. Members of the Appleton Historical Society say that the family history, the story that it tells, and being able to highlight the industrial age of the Fox River is what makes preserving this mill so special. Around 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, deputies were called to this home here on the 7,000 block of Quigley Road. 2 male bodies were reportedly found inside. But one neighbor I spoke with shared that he would always see the family playing basketball right outside here and never suspected anything like this would ever happen in the neighborhood. A number of residential areas here lost power beginning late last night, and you can even see behind me branches and trees that were knocked down because of the gusts of wind and even taking power lines with them. A couple golfers told me that they're out here just enjoying the weather and hoping to get some birdies. The matchups are set for the general election in November. For Wisconsin's 8th Congressional District, Tony Weed won the Republican primary. And now both candidates are working on what they need to do to win the election. Tom, right now I'm along the West Twin River near Two Rivers, where you can see behind me search efforts are still continuing for the missing 3-year-old. I can tell you things are a lot better now than they were Friday and even going into the weekend. I mean, this entire roadway, this street here was flooded, and I'll go ahead and step out of the way now so that you can see behind me dumpsters lined all along these driveways filled with to the top with items that can never be recovered. I've been out here all day on Viola Street speaking with residents who are still in shambles over the extensive loss of valuables and damages to their homes. And as you mentioned, storm cleanup started this morning, and residents are on their second and even third dumpsters. The damage that was done here, they say, is unlike anything they've ever seen. Every home impacted, every basement completely cleared out. And Dave Mashinsky told me he's lived in his home here on Viola Street for more than 50 years and has also never seen anything that destructive or experienced flooding where it came in from the backyard and went through his home. Like many of his neighbors, he wasn't even aware when the flooding in his basement started. Some were not even home. And with kids and grandkids of his own, Mashinsky told me he is heartbroken over everything that was destroyed.
I spent 50 years developing in that house a livable basement with TV room, laundry rooms, play areas for the kids and grandkids, wife's office. It's all gone. Everything has to be taken out.
Residents along Viola Street are trying to remain as optimistic as they can, telling me that if any good has come from this, it's that the entire street is rallying together to support each other during this difficult time. One resident, so upset with the damages they experienced, claims the city failed to maintain the storm and sanitary sewers and is considering suing the city. I have reached out to the city but have yet to hear a response. If I do, I will update you on the details. For now, live in Appleton, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News. An inspiring story, an elementary school teacher has embarked on a cross-country bike ride. It's called the Move for a Mission, raising money for an important project. Zoa Tao has been a teacher at Highlands Elementary School for 22 years. So when the first step was taken in building an inclusive playground for children with physical and development disabilities, Zoa knew she had to help to keep the project moving.
This is my second home, and I needed to do something to help the school so that students who are in wheelchairs, or if they use a cane, or if they need anything to get on there, they can roll right onto the playground.
Zoa Tao and her husband are riding across the country with every pedal between their home in Appleton, Wisconsin to San Francisco, California, raising money for the Highlands Odyssey Playground Project.
We fell in love with cycling since COVID. Since we couldn't go anywhere else, so we started biking again, and then ever since then we just continue to do it. And since the school needed something, why don't we use something we love? But this is a great challenge for us.
In a span of 2 months, Zoa and her husband will have cycled more than 2,300 miles.
I just calculation about 50 miles a day, so we're probably gonna take about anyway for almost 60 days to do there. So, and that will be like 10 hours a day.
Their goal is to raise $60,000 to help fund the completion of the inclusive playground and to encourage healthy habits. Her students will seek pledges for the number of minutes they are active.
Our whole mission is called Move for a Mission. We want the students to get out there and move during the summer, and not just the summer, but every day, to keep themselves healthy. And then we're asking them to go and talk to grandparents and families and friends and neighbors to try to get pledges as well to contribute.
Zoa and Schwa excited for the journey ahead, with her students there to send her off.
Move for it! Move for it!
Hi, Tom and Michelle. Like you said, today was the first day of this trial after being pushed back several times already. Gonzalez appeared in court earlier this morning, with the jury selection process lasting all morning. Anthony Gonzalez told Sturgeon Bay Police Department officers that the fire started due to him trying to fill a torch-style lighter with butane so he could light a cigarette in those early morning hours. He now faces 2 counts of second-degree reckless homicide, 5 counts of second-degree recklessly endangering safety, and 1 count of negligent handling of a burning material. During opening statements, the jury was asked by both attorneys to focus on very specific details throughout the trial as they go through the events of that morning.
There's a lot of what-ifs in accidents and in fires and in circumstances, but what's not in question is it was the fire that caused their deaths, and it was Mr. Gonzalez that started that fire.
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez, his actions started the fire. But he is not responsible for the deaths of Mr. Jers and Mr. Heisey. And he is not responsible for the injury that happened to Mr. McCoy Sr. Because if the building was in the proper condition, all we would have had was an accidental fire limited to that room.
The opening statements concluded just after 4 o'clock today, and the judge asked that the jury return tomorrow morning by 8:10 so they can begin the second day of the trial. Now, the trial was originally expected to last for 10 days, but as we heard this morning, the judge hopes to finish the trial by the end of the week. Live in Sturgeon Bay, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.
Richard Sotka was convicted today of killing 2 women in a Green Bay duplex last year. Local 5's Samantha Petters has the story.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Richard Wendell Sotka, guilty.
Richard Sotka has been found guilty on all 8 charges. Sotka was convicted of killing 58-year-old Rhonda Sigelski and 53-year-old Paula O'Connor in a home on LK Lane on the east side of Green Bay in January of 2023. During closing arguments, the state argued that Sotka did act with the intent to kill the 2 women, while the defense countered that Sotka did not act with the intent to kill.
He freely indicated and told what he used. He believed it was a knife, obviously. He said what he did to both the women. It certainly matches the crime scene.
If he was going to fabricate some sort of crazy thing, he would have done it. No, that's not what he did.
Sotka invoked his right to remain silent and not testify in his own defense, but had confessed to officials he felt humiliated and acted on those emotions.
I'm sure Richard had a guilty conscience. There's no doubt about that. You saw it. You heard his own words in the video where he says, "Give me 2 life sentences." He said that.
His sentencing is scheduled for May 20th at 3 p.m. In Green Bay, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News. As we honor those who died in the line of duty on September 11th, 2001, we remember the sacrifice of all our fallen heroes with the annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb at Lambeau Field. The 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb events are a tribute to the 343 firefighters who gave their lives during the tragic events at the World Trade Center. And for first responders like Lieutenant Aaron Zamzo, it's a chance to show support and spread awareness.
As we get further from the actual date, it's so important for us to not only remember what happened that day, but also that some of the issues and sacrifices that are still going on.
Lieutenant Zamzo was recently in New York for training and shares what it meant to meet a relative of Ray Downey, the FDNY battalion chief he climbs for.
I got to work with his son, Chief Charles Downey, and so it brings it to heart to be able to talk to Chief Downey about his father and what really happened from that side was super moving.
And the commitment of those in service on September 11th, 2001. Is what Lieutenant Zamzo says people need to remember.
A gentleman was getting off shift, and I said, well, what did you do? He said, well, we looked at the trade towers, we called our families, we grabbed our gear, commandeered a bus, and started driving towards the trade towers. They started driving towards where everyone else was trying to get away from.
Hal Bryan is not only the top fundraiser of this year's event, he is also a former EMT and says knowing what it's like to be someone who ran towards the danger is why he climbs.
It was a heartbreaking and defining moment, and it's something I think is crucial that we never forget and future generations never forget.
But to take on the uphill battle, he first went on a weight loss journey.
6 months ago, I would have looked at this event and been sad because there's no way I would have been able to manage it. And that was, I'm happy to say that was 70 pounds ago.
The National Fallen Firefighters Foundation supports the families of our nation's fallen firefighters. And CEO Victor Stagnero says seeing so many show their support is a testament to why first responders do what they do every day.
It's just a wonderful thing to see the community come out. They're climbing with their children alongside firefighters who are wearing full gear. It's humbling to know that so many people are out here to support.
All united to share one goal.
Almost like a firework explosion of cloud.
To honor the fallen. In Green Bay, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.